Hello there, my sleepy fellows. Tonight, I will be sharing two tales from the heart of the Shire, where the hills whisper secrets of old and the woods hold mysteries beneath their emerald canopy. These are not just stories, they are windows into the gentle, hidden wonders of Middle-earth, where even the smallest of places holds legends that have shaped the ages. Our first story, Shire Stories, Untold Legends of the Shire's Olden Days, takes us deep into the heritage of this quiet land. Here, in the warmth of hobbit holes and the laughter of green fields, we uncover tales of courage and heart that have been passed down through generations. These are the stories that shape the Shire, carried in the melodies of its songs and the pages of its long-kept lore. The second tale, The Whispering Woods, Secrets Beneath the Shire's Canopy, leads us into the enchanting forests that surround this peaceful land. Beneath their rustling leaves and soft moonlit paths lie ancient secrets waiting to be discovered. What dwells in the shadows of these woods? What calls from the depths of the groves that even the hobbits tread carefully? This is a tale of curiosity, wonder, and the quiet bravery of uncovering the unknown. As you listen, imagine the golden glow of the Shire's lanterns, the soft hum of life in its hills, and the gentle pull of the forest calling you to uncover its mysteries. Let the rhythm of these stories soothe you, the warmth of the Shire guide you, and the soft rustling of the woods carry you toward rest. If these tales of Middle-earth stir your curiosity, we invite you to journey with us through more such stories. Like this video and subscribe to stay with us as we explore the timeless magic of this beloved world. Our tale begins in a peaceful corner of the Shire where the rolling green hills are kissed by the warm light of a golden sun. The air is filled with the comforting sense of earth and blooming flowers, and the sound of gentle laughter echoes from hobbit holes nestled snugly into the hillsides. In one such hobbit hole, just on the edge of a small grove of trees, lives a curious and thoughtful hobbit named Linden. With his soft brown curls and twinkling eyes, Linden is known for his quiet demeanor and love for stories. His days are filled with tending his modest garden, sharing cheerful words with passing neighbors, and losing himself in the pages of old Shire tales. Yet, beneath Linden's calm exterior lies a quiet yearning. He often sits by the round window of his hobbit hole, gazing out at the distant horizon, his mind weaving stories of lands far beyond the Shire. His collection of old maps and journals, scattered across his wooden table, hints at an unspoken curiosity, a longing to uncover the mysteries of Middle-earth that have lingered in whispers and songs for generations. One evening, as the twilight gently paints the sky in hues of lavender and gold, Linden stumbles upon an old, weathered tome buried beneath his belongings. Its faded cover bears the emblem of a tree entwined with a crescent moon, a symbol unfamiliar yet oddly comforting. Inside, he finds tales of Shire legends, of hidden paths, forgotten treasures, and secrets buried within the quiet lands he calls home. The discovery stirs something deep within him. What if the stories are more than just tales told by the fire? What if the Shire holds mysteries waiting to be uncovered? With a soft glow of determination in his eyes, Linden makes a decision. The road may be uncertain, but the call of adventure, gentle and steady, begins to echo in his heart. And so, as the first stars begin to glimmer in the evening sky, Linden lights a lantern and steps outside, the soft creak of his hobbit hole door blending with the rustle of leaves in the night breeze. The Shire, familiar and comforting, now seems to hum with a quiet promise, a world of untold legends waiting just beyond the horizon. Linden's journey begins with the first light of dawn casting a gentle glow over the Shire. He steps onto a narrow, winding path that leads him through lush meadows dotted with dew-kissed flowers. The air is crisp and fresh, carrying the melodies of chirping birds and the occasional distant hum of hobbits going about their day. Yet, as he ventures further, the familiar fades into the unknown, and the Shire's gentle embrace gives way to quieter, more mysterious surroundings. The path winds into the woods, where towering trees stretch their limbs like ancient guardians. Shafts of sunlight pierce the canopy, painting the forest floor in shifting patterns of light and shadow. Linden pauses, taking in the sounds of the forest, the rustle of leaves, the soft trickle of a hidden stream, and the faint whispers of wind through the branches. In this place, he feels both the weight of history and the promise of secrets waiting to be unveiled. As he ventures deeper, the trees seem to grow closer together, their roots intertwining like the threads of an ancient tapestry. The air here carries a faint golden mist that swirls lazily around his feet, giving the surroundings an otherworldly glow. Linden notices something unusual, a trail of faintly glowing mushrooms leading off the main path. Their soft light is mesmerizing, and though he hesitates, curiosity compels him to follow. The trail leads to a small, hidden glade. At its center lies a crystal-clear pool, its surface perfectly still and reflecting the sky like a mirror. Around it bloom delicate flowers that emit a faint blue glow, their petals swaying gently as if stirred by an unseen breeze. Linden kneels by the pool, captivated by its serene beauty. As he gazes into the water, faint ripples disturb the surface, and for a fleeting moment, he sees something, a shadowy figure, indistinct but compelling. The vision fades as quickly as it appeared, leaving him with a sense of wonder and a quiet resolve to press on. Beyond the glade, Linden climbs a misty trail that winds its way up the side of a gentle hill. From the crest, he gazes out over the valley below, where the Shire stretches out in a patchwork of green and gold, its peaceful beauty contrasting with the mysteries that lie ahead. He feels a pang of longing for the comfort of home, but knows his journey has only just begun. As the trail descends, Linden comes upon a rocky hillside shrouded in vines. He notices an unusual pattern etched into the stone, a series of ancient runes glowing faintly in the dim light. With careful hands, he brushes away the vines, revealing a hidden door embedded in the rock. The runes seem to pulse gently, as if acknowledging his presence. A soft thrill of discovery courses through him as he stands before the door, knowing that whatever lies beyond could change everything he knows about the Shire and its untold legends. With a steadying breath, Linden raises his lantern, its warm light casting flickering shadows on the ancient door. The forest around him falls into an expectant hush, as though it, too, awaits what he will uncover next. Linden's steps lead him through the hidden door, its ancient runes shimmering faintly as it swings open with a soft, creaking sigh. The air beyond is cool and still, carrying a faint metallic tang. He steps into a vast cavern, its expanse illuminated by faintly glowing crystals embedded in the walls. Their light casts soft reflections across the smooth stone, revealing a sight that takes Linden's breath away. In the center of the cavern stands an ornate pedestal, carved from a single piece of dark stone and adorned with intricate carvings of flowing vines and leaves. Resting atop the pedestal is an object unlike anything Linden has seen before, a luminous crystal shard radiating a soft, ethereal glow. The shard's light dances across the cavern walls, creating patterns that seem almost alive. As Linden approaches, he feels a warmth emanating from it, as though it carries the memory of sunlight. Kneeling before the pedestal, Linden hesitates, his hand hovering over the shard. The light seems to respond to his presence, brightening slightly and casting a gentle glow over his face. The moment feels sacred, as though the shard is not merely an artifact, but a living piece of Middle-earth's ancient history. When he finally touches it, a vision unfurls before him, an image of the two trees of Valinor, their golden and silver lights blending in perfect harmony. The sight fills Linden with a deep sense of awe and connection, as though he is glimpsing a piece of the world's earliest days. The vision fades, leaving Linden with the shard cradled in his hands. Its glow is now softer, almost as if it trusts him to carry its light forward. He sits beside a tranquil stream that flows through the cavern, reflecting on what he has discovered. The soft trickle of water and the faint hum of the shard's energy create a soothing symphony, calming his racing thoughts. The shard feels both fragile and powerful in his grasp, a symbol of hope and responsibility. Emerging from the cavern, Linden finds himself on a high vantage point overlooking the Shire. The land stretches out below him, a patchwork of soft greens and golds bathed in the gentle light of the setting sun. The peace of the Shire feels distant now, and yet it anchors him, reminding him of why he must carry on. The shard's faint glow seems to echo the light of the Shire, connecting him to both the past and the future. As night falls, the stars begin to emerge, their light reflected faintly in the shard. Linden gazes at the horizon, where the darkness of the unknown looms. Yet, in his hand, he holds a piece of the light, a reminder that even in the shadow, there is hope to be found. The path forward is uncertain, but he feels a quiet determination growing within him. Whatever mysteries await, he knows he is ready to face them. The shard's soft glow accompanies Linden as he journeys beyond the familiar hills of the Shire. The road is quiet, lined with swaying trees whose leaves rustle in the gentle wind. As the hours pass, the landscape begins to change. Rolling green pastures give way to dense woods where the light filters through the canopy in soft golden beams. The air is cool, tinged with the earthy scent of moss and blooming wildflowers. The stillness of the forest feels alive, as though it is watching and listening. Linden's path leads him to an open glade bathed in moonlight. At its center stands an elf, tall and graceful, their silver hair shimmering like starlight. They turn as Linden approaches, their piercing eyes softened by a warm smile. The elf introduces themselves as Alathiel, a keeper of stories and lore from the ancient days of Middle-earth. Their voice carries a musical quality, soothing and filled with wisdom. Alathiel shares stories of the Shard, its origins tied to the two trees of Valinor and the great struggles that shaped Middle-earth. Sitting by a small, crackling fire, Linden listens intently as Alathiel's words paint vivid pictures of lands beyond his imagination, glimmering cities, towering mountains, and battles fought for light and freedom. Each story feels like a piece of a larger puzzle, revealing the Shard's significance and the role it might play in the days to come. The next morning, guided by Alathiel, Linden finds himself at the edge of a breathtaking vista. Below lies Rivendell, its cascading waterfalls glinting in the sunlight, and its elegant spires nestled among verdant hills. The air is filled with the distant sound of elven melodies, a song that seems to welcome them as they descend. Rivendell's beauty is otherworldly, a sanctuary that seems untouched by time. As they explore the hidden corridors of Rivendell, Linden learns more about the Shard's potential. Alathiel leads him to an ancient library where books bound in soft leather and scrolls preserved for millennia hold the answers they seek. The Shard, they discover, is not merely a relic, but a beacon capable of awakening the light hidden within the hearts of those who have forgotten hope. Its power must be wielded carefully, for it is both fragile and immense. That evening, beneath a canopy of stars, Linden and Alathiel share a quiet moment by the river that flows through Rivendell. The stars reflect in the calm water, their light mingling with the soft glow of the Shard. Alathiel tells Linden of a great shadow rising in the distance, a threat that could engulf Middle-earth if left unchecked. Yet, they remind him, where there is shadow, there is also light. Your journey, Alathiel says softly, is not merely to uncover the past, but to ensure the future. The Shard chose you for a reason. The weight of those words lingers in the air as Linden gazes at the Shard resting in his palm. Though the path ahead is uncertain, the strength he feels from Alathiel's wisdom and the beauty of Rivendell fills him with quiet resolve. Together, they plan their next steps, knowing the Shard's light must find its way to where it is most needed. As dawn breaks, the first light of the sun dances across Rivendell's rooftops, signaling a new chapter in Linden's journey. The Shard's glow seems brighter now, a steady reminder of the light he carries and the hope it represents. The Shard's glow grows stronger as Linden ventures deeper into the ancient ruins of a forgotten stronghold nestled high in the misty mountains. The air is cold and sharp, filled with the distant echoes of howling winds. Alathiel walks beside him, their presence a steady comfort as they navigate the winding stone corridors. Each step feels heavier as though the weight of history itself presses down upon them. The final chamber reveals itself with a soft hum emanating from the shard. Massive stone doors, engraved with runes that pulse faintly, stand as a barrier to what lies beyond. Alathiel approaches the door, their fingers tracing the ancient script. "These words," they say, their voice barely above a whisper, speak of a power locked away for ages, meant to protect Middle-earth from the encroaching darkness. Linden steps forward, holding the shard aloft. Its light intensifies, filling the chamber with a warm, golden glow. The doors respond, their runes flaring brightly before the stone creaks and shifts, opening to reveal a hidden sanctuary. Inside, a radiant tree stands at the center, its leaves shimmering with a light that seems to flow between gold and silver. It is a reflection of the long-lost two trees of Valinor, their essence preserved in this secret place. Alathiel kneels before the tree, their expression a mix of reverence and awe. "This light," they murmur, "is a fragment of what was, a gift to guide those who seek to bring balance to Middle-earth." As Linden approaches the tree, the shard in his hand begins to resonate, its light merging with the tree's radiance. The chamber seems to awaken, its walls reflecting the light in cascading patterns that dance like waves. But with this awakening comes a shadow. A dark figure emerges from the far end of the room, its form wreathed in swirling mist and shadow. The air grows tense as the shadow's voice echoes through the chamber, deep and chilling. It speaks of a time when light and dark were one, and the balance was broken. The figure claims the shard as its own, a piece of the light it once shared, but now seeks to reclaim. Linden's heart pounds as he steps forward, the shard glowing brighter in his grip. Alathiel rises, their voice calm yet firm. "The light is not yours to wield in darkness," they say. "It belongs to those who seek hope." The shadow lashes out, its tendrils reaching for the shard, but the tree's light surges in response. Linden instinctively raises the shard, and its glow explodes outward, engulfing the room in blinding brilliance. The shadow recoils, its form dissipating as the light consumes it. The chamber falls silent, the air heavy with a sense of renewal. Linden lowers the shard, now dimmed, its purpose fulfilled. The tree's light remains steady, casting a warm glow that fills the room with peace. Alathiel places a hand on Linden's shoulder, their expression one of quiet pride. "You've done what many could not. You've restored the balance." As they leave the chamber, the once dark corridors now seem lighter, the oppressive weight lifted. The shard, though no longer glowing, feels warm in Linden's hand, a reminder of the journey they've undertaken and the light they've brought to the world. The climb down the mountain is quiet, the night sky above filled with stars. As they reach the foothills, Alathiel pauses and turns to Linden. "Your journey does not end here," they say. "The light you carry will guide others, just as it guided you." Linden nods, a newfound strength in his heart. The road ahead is unknown, but he feels ready to walk it, knowing the light will always be with him. Together, they make their way back toward Rivendell, the mountains behind them glowing faintly under the starlit sky. As dawn breaks over the Shire, Linden sits quietly on a small hilloa overlooking the gentle landscape. The soft hum of morning fills the air, the distant crow of a rooster, the rustling of leaves, and the faint sound of a brook flowing nearby. The shard, now nestled in a small pouch at his side, seems to pulse faintly, as though it, too, feels the peace of the morning. The journey through the mountains, the discovery of the hidden sanctuary, and the defeat of the shadow all feel like distant dreams. Yet, they linger in his mind like a melody that refuses to fade. He runs his fingers over the smooth fabric of the pouch, feeling the comforting warmth of the shard within. It is a reminder, not just of what he has done, but of the light he carries now, both within himself and for others. Linden's gaze shifts to the bustling Shire below, where hobbits begin their day with cheerful greetings and the clatter of breakfast preparations. Smoke rises lazily from chimneys, and the scent of fresh-baked bread wafts through the air. There is a sense of familiarity and comfort in the scene, but it feels different now, brighter, richer, more meaningful. As he descends the hill, the world around him seems to glow with newfound life. A group of children runs past, laughing as they chase each other through the fields. A nearby farmer tips his hat with a kind smile, and Linden nods in return. He feels a sense of belonging, not just to the Shire, but to the greater story of Middle-earth, a story of resilience, hope, and the enduring power of light. When he reaches his hobbit hole, the round green door swings open with a familiar creak. The interior is warm and inviting, filled with the soft light of the morning sun. On his table sits a single note, penned in Alathiel's elegant handwriting. It is a message of gratitude and encouragement, a reminder that their paths may cross again when the world calls for it. Linden places the shard carefully on the mantel above his hearth, where its faint glow casts delicate patterns on the walls. It will remain there, a quiet guardian, until it is needed once more. For now, his journey has ended, and he is content to rest, to cherish the moments of quiet joy that the Shire offers. As the sun dipped below the rolling hills of the Shire, his mind filled with the echoes of old tales and the whispers of newfound wonder. The Shire had revealed to him that its peaceful facade held depths of history and legend waiting to be uncovered. The warm glow of the lanterns and the gentle hum of the evening reminded him that his journey of discovery had only just begun. But as Linden sat by his fire, sketching the day's events in his journal, a strange rustling sound caught his attention. It was faint at first, carried on the cool evening breeze, but it seemed to come from the direction of the Whispering Woods, a dense, shadowed forest that bordered the Shire. Though the woods were a familiar sight, they had always been shrouded in mystery, their secrets concealed beneath a thick canopy of leaves. Tonight, however, they seemed to beckon. The rustling grew into a faint whisper, like a distant voice carried through the trees. Linden paused, his quill hovering over the page, as a feeling of quiet intrigue took hold of him. What lay hidden beneath the forest's shadowy boughs? Could the woods hold answers to the questions left behind by the day's revelations? Linden set down his quill, gazing out of the round window of his hobbit hole. The Whispering Woods waited, their secrets woven into the night, and Linden knew he could not ignore their call. Thus, as one chapter of his journey closed, another began, leading him deeper into the heart of the Shire's mysteries, toward the secrets whispered by the trees themselves. Nestled in the heart of the Shire, where rolling green hills meet the gentle murmur of quiet brooks, lies the humble village of Tuckborough. Among its many hobbit holes, each with its own charm, there is one particularly quaint dwelling. Its round, wooden door is painted a warm shade of green, with vines curling gently around its frame. This is the home of Merrin Took, a hobbit with a curious spirit and an old journal that has been passed down through generations. Merrin is not unlike other hobbits in many ways. He loves the warmth of a crackling fire, the smell of fresh-baked seed cakes, and the laughter of friends gathered at his table. But unlike most of his kin, who are content to stay within the bounds of the Shire, Merrin's mind often drifts to the tales of old. His evenings are often spent by candlelight, poring over the pages of his family's journal, its faded ink telling stories of adventures past. It speaks of a place called the Whispering Woods, a mysterious forest on the edge of the Shire, where legends say the trees whisper secrets of ages long gone. The Shire itself is alive with its own music. Birds chirp sweet melodies from the trees, and the distant bleat of sheep adds to the pastoral harmony. Merrin often walks these familiar paths, enjoying the soft rustle of the breeze through the grass and the golden light of the setting sun. Yet, even amid the peace of the Shire, the call of the Whispering Woods grows stronger. One evening, as Merrin studies the journal, he finds a passage he hadn't noticed before. It speaks of a hidden clearing deep within the woods, where a great secret is said to slumber. The words stir something deep within him, a quiet resolve to seek the truth. With a lantern in hand and his heart steady, Merrin steps outside into the cool evening air. The path ahead is uncharted, but the soft glow of the lantern and the gentle whispers of the Shire guide his first steps toward the unknown. Merrin Took set out under the starlit sky, his small lantern casting a warm, golden glow that flickered gently against the darkened Shire paths. The cool night air carried the soft scent of dew-covered grass and the distant hum of crickets, a comforting melody that seemed to guide his every step. His feet, accustomed to the well-trodden trails of his homeland, now ventured onto the lesser-known paths leading toward the Whispering Woods, a place shrouded in mystery and spoken of only in hushed tones. The forest's edge greeted him with towering oaks, their branches forming an intricate canopy that seemed to hold the stars at bay. The trees swayed gently, their leaves whispering secrets only the wind could understand. Merrin hesitated for a moment, his lantern flickering as though sharing his uncertainty. But the allure of the unknown urged him forward, and he stepped into the woods, where the air grew cooler and carried a faint, earthy fragrance. As Merrin walked deeper into the forest, the world around him seemed to shift. The dense foliage softened the sounds of his footsteps, and the dim light of his lantern revealed curious sights: glowing mushrooms clinging to ancient tree trunks, delicate strands of spider silk catching the faintest hints of light, and moss-covered stones etched with runes so old they seemed that almost part of the rock itself. The whispers of the woods grew louder, though no voice could be discerned, only the sense of something alive, watching, waiting. His journey was not without challenges. The path became increasingly uneven, with roots sprawling like veins across the ground and fallen branches blocking his way. Yet Merrin pressed on, his determination fueled by the journal's tantalizing promise of a hidden clearing. Along the way, he noticed small signs that he was not the first to tread this path. A weathered boot print in the mud, a broken branch that seemed unnaturally bent, and a faint trail of breadcrumbs scattered as if by design. After hours of careful progress, Merrin arrived at a curious landmark, a great tree with a hollow trunk, its interior glowing faintly with a soft greenish light. He stepped closer and peered inside, finding carvings that resembled maps, etched in intricate detail. One marking stood out, a spiral symbol matching the description in his family's journal. This, he knew, was a signpost of sorts, a guide pointing the way to the clearing. Encouraged by this discovery, Merrin followed the faint trail the spiral seemed to indicate. The path twisted and turned, leading him through a part of the forest that felt untouched by time. Here, the air seemed heavier, laden with the scent of ancient trees and the faintest hint of something floral. The whispers of the forest grew clearer, almost musical, as though the trees themselves were humming a melody only the brave could hear. Finally, the path opened into a clearing, bathed in an ethereal light, as though the moon itself had chosen this place to shine brightest. In the center stood a solitary stone pedestal, covered in moss and lichen, its surface smooth yet weathered. Merrin approached slowly, his heart pounding in quiet anticipation. The pedestal held nothing but a faint inscription, its words glowing softly, as if waiting for someone to read them. The mystery had deepened. The inscription spoke of a guardian of the woods, one who held the key to unlocking the forest's greatest secret. Merrin felt a mix of wonder and trepidation. He knew he was closer than ever to uncovering the truth, but he also understood that his journey was far from over. With the whispers of the woods surrounding him and the pedestal's inscription etched into his mind, he prepared to continue his adventure, the clearing behind him fading into the shadows as he ventured deeper into the unknown. The clearing Merrin had stumbled upon seemed to hum with quiet life, as though the forest itself held its breath. The pedestal's glowing inscription remained etched in his mind. To seek the guardian, follow the path where the moon's shadow points. His lantern flickered, casting dancing shadows on the ground. Merrin took a deep breath and turned toward the direction the moonlight hinted, the faint trail ahead shimmering as if brushed by unseen hands. The forest deepened as he moved forward, its canopy closing above like an emerald cathedral. The air grew cooler, and faint, musical chimes seemed to echo through the trees, soft notes carried on a breeze that barely stirred the leaves. As he walked, Merrin began to notice subtle changes in his surroundings. The path seemed almost too perfect, the moss softer underfoot, the trees lining his way as though guiding him forward. After some time, The trail opened into another small glade, and there, at the center, sat a curious figure cloaked in twilight shadows. The guardian of the Whispering Woods was unlike anything Merrin had imagined. A tall, graceful being with features both ethereal and ageless. Their silver hair caught the light like spun moonlight, and their eyes glowed softly with an inner luminescence. In their hands rested a small, intricately carved chest, adorned with spiraling vines and stars. Merrin stood still, awestruck, until the guardian spoke in a voice as soft as rustling leaves. "You carry the light of courage, Hobbit of the Shire," they said. "Few venture so far into these woods, and fewer still with a heart as steady as yours." Gathering his courage, Merrin stepped forward. "I followed the signs," he said, his voice quiet but steady. "The journal from my family spoke of these woods, of this place. I'm here to understand." The guardian smiled gently, as if Merrin's words were a melody they'd long wished to hear. "Your family's journey intertwines with the song of this forest. The wisdom they sought is bound within this chest, but to open it requires more than courage. It requires understanding and a connection to the spirit of this place." They extended the chest toward Merrin, who took it with careful hands. As he held it, the carvings on its surface seemed to shift and glow faintly, like stars appearing in the night sky. The guardian continued, "Within this chest lies a shard of the Shire's heart, a relic of light passed through generations. It is both a guide and a test. The relic reveals itself only to those who truly seek it with intentions as pure as the waters that flow through this land." Merrin felt a warmth spread through his hands as the chest began to hum faintly. The glow of the carvings grew brighter, and with a soft click, the lid opened. Inside was a crystal shard, its surface shimmering with colors that seemed to shift and dance like sunlight through leaves. The moment Merrin touched it, he felt a deep connection to the forest, as though its secrets were whispered directly into his heart. Visions filled his mind of the Shire's earliest days, of its gentle rolling hills and the steadfast hobbits who had nurtured it into the haven it was today. He saw moments of kindness, of courage, of quiet triumphs that had shaped the land and its people. And within these visions, he understood. The relic was a reminder of the Shire's spirit, a light to guide those who might lose their way. When the vision faded, Merrin looked up at the guardian, his heart full of wonder and gratitude. "I see now," he said softly. "This isn't just a treasure, it's a story, a legacy." The guardian nodded. "Indeed," Merrin took. "You have glimpsed what many cannot see, the enduring heart of the Shire, a beacon that shines brightest in times of shadow. But your journey does not end here. You must return with this knowledge, for the light you carry is meant to be shared." With the crystal shards safely secured, Merrin felt a newfound strength within him. He turned back toward the path, ready to carry the relic's light into the world beyond the forest. As the guardian faded into the shimmering shadows of the glade, their final words echoed softly, "May the light guide you, always." As Merrin ventured back through the shimmering woods, the air seemed alive with a newfound energy. The trees whispered softly, their leaves rustling like a distant melody. He now held the crystal shard close, its faint, warm glow seeping through his pocket. The relic felt less like an object and more like a companion, its light gently guiding his steps through the shadowy paths. The journey was far from over. The guardian's words lingered in his mind. The light you carry is meant to be shared. Merrin pondered this as he came upon a small clearing where a figure stood silhouetted against the moonlight. The figure turned, revealing an elf of striking presence. Their hair shimmered like silver silk, and their green eyes gleamed with the wisdom of countless ages. "Greetings, traveler," the elf said, their voice as smooth and melodic as the forest itself. "I am Letherian, keeper of the woodland tales. The light you bear has awakened the stories of this forest. May I walk with you, little one?" Merrin hesitated for a moment, but then nodded. "I would be honored. This place, it's unlike anything I've ever known." As they walked together, Letherian shared tales of the forest and the Shire's ancient connection to it. They spoke of a time when hobbits were more adventurous, wandering far beyond the comfort of their hills. These stories painted a picture of the Shire as not just a haven, but a part of a much larger living tapestry. "You see, Merrin," Letherian explained as they paused by a bubbling brook, "the Shire's light has always been tied to the wider world. Its peace was forged not in isolation, but through bonds of trust and unity with lands beyond." Their words gave Merrin much to ponder as they moved deeper into the forest. The trees opened to reveal a hidden grove where glowing flora bathed the area in an ethereal light. Fireflies danced above vibrant blue flowers, and a soft, lilting song seemed to emanate from the very air. "This is the heart of the woods," Letherian said, their voice filled with reverence. "Few ever see it. You are here because you carry a light strong enough to harmonize with this place." Merrin felt a deep sense of peace and belonging as he stood among the glowing flora. He realized that the Shire's spirit wasn't confined to its hills. It resonated here too, in the magic of this ancient forest. As they continued their journey, they approached a ridge that offered a breathtaking view of the misty mountains. The moon hung low in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the landscape. Letherian gestured toward the mountains. "Beyond those peaks lies Rivendell, where elves and knowledge flourish," they said. "Your journey may one day take you there, Merrin. The light you carry is needed in many places." They built a small campfire beneath a star-strewn sky, its warm glow a comforting contrast to the cool night air. Letherian shared tales of Valinor, the two trees, and the bonds between races in the early days of Middle-earth. Merrin listened intently, feeling a deep connection to these ancient stories. As the fire crackled and the stars twinkled above, Merrin felt a growing sense of purpose. His journey was about more than uncovering the past. It was about carrying its lessons forward, about ensuring that the light he bore would guide others as it had guided him. With Letherian by his side, Merrin's path felt brighter than ever before. The dawn light filtered through the canopy as Merrin and Letherian descended into the valley. The air grew cooler, and a faint hum seemed to reverberate through the ground. Merrin's heart quickened with a mix of trepidation and resolve. The guardian had spoken of a place where the light of the crystal shard could fulfill its purpose, a sacred hollow deep within the woods. When they reached the entrance to the hollow, Merrin paused. The doorway was formed by ancient, intertwining trees, their bark shimmering faintly as if alive with magic. Letherian placed a hand on Merrin's shoulder, offering a reassuring smile. "This is your path, Merrin," they said gently. "I will guide you as far as I can, but the final steps are yours to take." They entered the hollow, and Merrin was struck by the sight before him. In the center of the clearing stood a grand, ancient tree, its roots twisting deep into the earth and its branches stretching skyward as if embracing the heavens. The tree glowed faintly with a golden light, and at its base was a pedestal of stone carved with runes that seemed to pulse faintly in rhythm with the shard's glow. As Merrin approached the pedestal, the crystal shard in his pocket grew warm, its light intensifying with each step. The air felt heavy with anticipation, and the hum in the ground grew louder, resonating with the shard's glow. Merrin placed the crystal on the pedestal, and the hollow erupted with light. A golden radiance spread from the tree, illuminating every corner of the clearing. The runes on the pedestal blazed brightly, and the air filled with a harmonious melody that seemed to emanate from the tree itself. The light and sound wove together, creating a tangible sense of unity and peace. Merrin felt as though the essence of the Shire and the wisdom of the wider world were merging before his eyes. Letherian stood beside him, their face illuminated with quiet awe. "You have done it, Merrin," they said. "The light of the Shire and the knowledge of this forest are now one. This harmony will ripple far beyond these woods." As the light began to settle, the tree's glow remained, casting a warm and comforting presence over the hollow. The runes on the pedestal dimmed, but did not fade completely, their faint glow a reminder of the power that had been restored. Merrin stepped back, his heart full of wonder and contentment. Before they left the hollow, Letherian placed a hand on the tree, whispering words in a language Merrin did not understand. The elf turned to him with a serene expression. "This place will remain a beacon for those who seek light in the shadow," they said. "Your courage has ensured that its message endures." As they emerged from the hollow, the world outside seemed brighter, more alive. The forest hummed with a quiet vitality, and the path back to the Shire felt welcoming, as if guiding Merrin home. With each step, he felt the weight of his journey lifting, replaced by a sense of purpose and clarity. When they reached the edge of the Shire, Letherian paused. "This is where our paths part for now," they said, their voice tinged with warmth. "But remember, Merrin, the light you carry is a part of you. Share it freely, and it will grow." Merrin nodded, his gratitude evident in his eyes. "Thank you, Letherian, for your guidance, for the stories, for everything." The elf inclined their head, a small smile playing on their lips. Then, with a graceful turn, they disappeared into the forest, leaving Merrin to continue his journey home. As he walked the familiar paths of the Shire, he felt the glow of the crystal shard's light still within him, not as a burden, but as a gift to be cherished. The lessons of his journey lingered in his heart, a reminder that even the smallest actions could ripple out to touch the lives of many. The Shire, with its quiet hills and warm hearths, was a part of a larger world, and Merrin knew he was now a bridge between them. Merrin stood atop a gentle hill in the Shire as twilight settled across the land. The soft hues of pink and orange melted into the cool blues of evening, and the stars began to peek through the sky's velvety canopy. From this vantage point, he could see the small, glowing windows of hobbit holes nestled into the hills below, each one a testament to the warmth and simplicity of the Shire. Yet, as he looked out, he also felt the presence of the wider world, its mysteries, challenges, and beauty, all of which he had come to know on his journey. In his hand, he held the now gemmed crystal shard. Though its light no longer blazed, it retained a faint glow, a gentle reminder of the harmony restored in the hollow. The shard was no longer merely an artifact. It was a symbol of the connection between the Shire and the greater realms beyond its borders. Merrin smiled softly, his heart brimming with gratitude for the experiences that had brought him to this moment. The gentle sound of the wind rustling the grass brought his thoughts back to the present. He turned and began his walk down the hill, the path familiar, yet imbued with new meaning. The Shire felt the same, and yet it didn't. Every detail, the scent of freshly turned earth, the distant sound of a lute being played by a fellow hobbit, the soft glow of lanterns, felt richer, deeper, and more alive. As he approached his hobbit hole, the round door greeted him with its cheerful green paint and brass handle. Merrin paused, resting his hand against the door, as if taking in every detail of his home. The thought of the cozy interior, filled with maps, books, and the lingering scent of tonight's supper, brought a sense of peace. Inside, he placed the crystal shard on the mantel above the hearth, where its faint glow cast soft shadows across the room. It seemed to belong there, a quiet companion to the warmth of the fire. Merrin settled into his favorite armchair, a steaming mug of tea in his hands, and let the stillness of the evening wash over him. The Shire, with all its simplicity and beauty, was the heart of his world. Yet Merrin knew that the lessons of his journey had left an indelible mark. He understood that the smallest acts of courage, the quiet strength of connection, and the willingness to step beyond one's comfort could bring about great change. The light he carried was not just the shard's glow, but a spark within himself, one he hoped to share with others in the days to come. Outside, the stars shone brighter, their light dancing across the quiet hills. The Shire, cradled in their gentle glow, seemed to hum with a melody of peace and unity. As Merrin drifted into a deep, restful sleep, the crystal shard on the mantel glimmered softly, as if keeping watch over the little hobbit who had carried its light into the world. And so, my sleepy fellows, as the fires of the Shire fade to embers and the night deepens, let this story carry you gently into your own dreams. May you find solace in the quiet rhythms of the world, joy in the smallest moments, and courage to walk your own path wherever it may lead. Good night, and may the light of Middle-earth guide your dreams.